Jordan Mason had a amazing performance, man. But the post game talk, man. The question that the reporter asked was, "When did you find out that you were going to start?" You know what I'm saying? That raised a lot of concerns. You seen the answer that he gave. He said, like Friday night. And then they asked him the same question in the press conference or whatever. And he was mad about it, man. So, like, how do y'all feel about that?
Uh, rookie mistake. First off, keep everything in house. You say the politically correct answer. Um, Nothing more, nothing less. If you don't know what to say, it's best to say nothing at all. Marshawn Lynch was the master at that. I'm here so I don't get fined. Simple as that. And I mean, if San Fran, I mean, if I believe that CMC was on the injury report prior to it, so I don't really see them getting any flack. NFL done already came out and like spoke on it and said like, we're not gonna investigate into this or anything. But at first it was kind of like what the like, did he actually just say that? And then obviously the scrutiny is going back to the organization because like, so y'all didn't do y'all due diligence by putting him on the injury report. Now we're kind of looking like, so that's the biggest, like, that's one of the biggest responsibilities that you have as an organization is to list the injury report based off of so many financial, the financial side of it when it comes to, I mean, first off, the NFL profits off of betting. So I can speak for myself that C-Mac missing, he messed up my money for sure. But we got I mean fantasy. I mean, shoot, I feel bad if you was a fantasy draft and you drafted C-Mac with one of your first picks because obviously if you didn't know, now you know he's one of the top fantasy backs in fantasy players in all of football. So to say that he was inactive, like I believe by the time I got home from work around 6 o'clock, that's kind of when I got the news, and the game is at 7:15. So imagine you go through a whole week, however long it was before you did your fantasy draft, and you just finding out C-Mac's not going to play, and he's the Monday night game, which is the last game of the week. So that means the only person you could have potentially got was Jordan Mason, and clearly nobody got him. I mean, I seen in one of my other fantasies that somebody ended up picking him up last minute, and I mean, shoot, whoever got him, I didn't want to look at the fantasy score because I know he went ridiculous. But Jordan Mason, rookie mistake. Don't get the media too much because at the end of the day, it's only gonna hurt you. We done seen it already. They didn't get no flack for it, so I guess if they didn't get no flack, I mean, I guess it's irrelevant. Now, if it was something, then it would have been like, okay, like humongous flag, San Fran. I mean, I don't know how that works. Charles, do you know if they can't lose draft picks or nothing of that sort from little stuff like this? It's just probably like a simple fine or something of that nature, huh?
I think it's purely financial consequences.
Like they don't make enough money. Like should be thinking they caring about losing a couple. I mean, they ain't going up to the millions. They probably go high thousands for sure. 900K. Teach them a lesson. Put a hole in their lunch money that they would have used at the country club. Taking their young mistresses out. Like you know how I be with them old rich people. 900K ain't shit for them. 900K is like $5 for us. So,
yeah, man. Oh, go ahead, Charles. If you want to.
I guess it's kind of unfortunate for Jordan Mason because like he had probably the best day of his young NFL career. Getting the spotlight, getting everything kind of, handing it and opening up to him. The holes was great. The performance was great. The carries was great. Yards per carry, all of that. He was the best player on the field, at least productivity-wise, that San Francisco offered. The best player on both sides of the team for Monday night's game.
Hey, we will not disrespect Trent Williams in this house. Not at all. Not on this podcast. Trent Williams was the best the best player on both sides of the he was the best. The
Okay.
best.
Well, if that's the case, then you can make an argument for literally anybody else on that 49ers roster. You can say the same thing about Fred Warner on the defensive side. I mean, you've seen the plays that he made.
No. Trent Williams is the best player on that 49ers team. He is the most effective. He's the second best player in the NFL to me. Outside of Patrick Mahomes, who's more valuable to that team than Trent Williams? Who he didn't go to any training camp. And he allowed 0 pressures, 0 sacks, 0 hurries, and played every snap of the game.
No, I feel you from that perspective, but I'm saying like the perception of the game. Nobody's going to sit up here and look at Trent Williams as being like the focal point of. Well, obviously we're going to look at him as the focal point for winning, but we're not just going to sit up here and look at him as gaining all the credit. Obviously, you look at football aficionados like ourselves. He missed all of training camp, was on the verge of holding out, came back and basically just showcased why he's one of the best players the league has to offer in today's game. But we're looking at Jordan Mason thinking to ourselves, like here's how crazy Jordan Mason's performance was. Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in the NFL, and there's no arguing with that whatsoever. And we're sitting up here wondering if we could, not us, but there are people that are sitting back here wondering, like, is this a system that benefits McCaffrey? Because if you got the backup sitting up here doing this, like maybe he should be splitting carries with him. Maybe they should be sitting up here getting him more involved. Maybe they should sit back here and utilize their ace in the hole as much as they can, and I guess kind of prioritize the health of C-Mac by limiting his load for the most part. So like, it's unfortunate for Jordan Mason to have a performance like this that we're all going to sit back here and remember fondly, kind of get overshadowed by this mistake of him just truthfully just opening up to what he was told by Kyle Shanahan. I don't think there'll be anything too much major coming out of this outside of just, potential little slap on the wrist fine. It is a lot of implications, so you can see why the NFL would take this seriously. It's not just the betting, but the fantasy as well. I mean, for those that may not know, C-Mac might mess around and miss the next game as well. So, buckle up if you're a C-Mac owner. I mean, he's probably the first pick off of the draft for literally almost every single fantasy team.
Everybody.
Yeah, so, and then don't get me started on the betting lines. I mean, truthfully, I've recently gotten better with my prize picks, so I made some money. But
shoot, put in them damn flexes. You ain't got no heart to go put in a power. He ain't trying to get dirty. He trying to be clean and walk away with something.
Hey, because I'd rather walk away with something than be like you and walk away with nothing.
Shit, I don't blame him.
When I walk away with something, man, it feel like I'm on the top of the world. Ain't can't nobody tell me nothing.
You got different to put them power plays in, boy. That's them 6 mans. You know what I'm saying? It's either all or nothing, basically with them. Boy.
And Charles is a simple man. He is simple, two to 3 man max. He ain't going no further.
Oh no, my last parlay was 5. I would have had hit big money if it wasn't for A-Rod. The best player when it came to TD interception ratio of all time, and in his first game back in like essentially a year.
2 years.
2 years. Pick.
Damn. Man, but Jordan Mason, man, small mistake. It sucks because he had an amazing game, bro, and it's just unfortunate. Bro was just high on life, you know what I'm saying? He was very excited, you know what I'm saying? You were underdog. You got the best running back over you, playing in front of you. So it's cool to get out there and like showcase your skill. I understand, you know what I'm saying? But just a small
you can tell he was really sad though. Like you can tell like they done got in his ass for showing that locker room. He was like, dang.
Yeah, because he was like, that's why I don't talk to the media, man, because he's like, yeah, skip the question. Like that really pissed him off, and that sucks, man, because he had an amazing game. But I hope to see more from him. I hope they don't, you know what I'm saying, do him bad. You know what I'm saying? I hope they keep on feeding him and everything like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure he got the money to pay out the fine regardless. But would he get fined or would the 49ers get fined?
49ers. It would never be him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a small mistake. Yeah, but to the next question, man. So My fault. Yeah, to the next question, man. So, other than Jordan Mason and everything like that, so is CMC the best back in the NFL, or is it the system? Is it the 49ers system that just makes everyone look good? You know what I'm saying?
That's a great question. And truthfully, I'm not gonna sit here and try to be the rebel and try to give a hot take like, oh, he's not the best back because Jordan Mason done went in there and damn near did CMC level productivity in the same system, and it looked like the running game didn't take a step back. My only thing to that is we you can't disrespect the offensive player of the year. You can't. You can not at all. He is 1-on-1. He had a stretch where he scored pretty much every game from like he scored. I don't know how many games. It was probably 11 to 12 consecutive games. I mean, C-Mac is 1-on-1. He's amazing, but I also think we do need to give some type of consideration to. He's a great back, and he's put in even a better system, which obviously makes him look spectacular. Now, we have other backs that are in certain systems that don't have the luxury of having a great play call at the helms like Kyle Shanahan, a running scheme that fits him to the T in the West Coast scheme, the West Coast zone running scheme, which, in case the average fan doesn't know, is basically a scheme where it requires a lot of patience and it's one cut and go. It's not a play around with it and try to do all this fancy stuff. It's you wait, you see the hole, you attack the hole. It's not a lot of thinking that goes into it. You got to have patience. You got to have good feet. But I think it's hard. Like Saquon, I think Saquon is another great example of we kind of all put him down in a little bit. You know, we put him down in the running back rankings despite knowing the level of talent that Saquon is in the running and passing game. And we put him down because of the shitty system that was going on in New York. And the moment he go to Philly, 3 touchdowns at the gate, great receiving and running game. I mean, he looked like a man amongst boys. And quite frankly, he carried that Philadelphia team to the dub. Not Jalen Hurts, not the defense. It was Saquon. Saquon was the difference maker. So I think CMC, I think he is the best running back. I think two things can be true. I think CMC is the best running back in football, but also Kyle Shanahan and the system is probably the best system in the league when it comes to running backs that run the zone, that can play in the West Coast zone run scheme, that has good patience, good burst, and is able to make that one cut read and turning it up. So it's hard. It's really hard because that's seeing Jordan Mason go out there and do what he do. I mean, I guess to other people that's a shocker, but to me it's really not because I'm looking at him like Elijah Mitchell when he was there. He was a really efficient back. I mean, we thought Elijah Mitchell was going to be something until they was like, you're good, but I think we can do a little better than you. I think we can get somebody that's great. So I think if you're a running back, you're going to always benefit off of the Kyle Shanahan system. That's a given by far. I mean, shoot, they had freaking what's his name? Damn, I forgot his name. He went to UNT. He was the running back. Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson was looking like a man amongst boys in that system. I don't know where the hell Jeff Wilson's at now, but
last time I checked, I thought he was with the Dolphins.
Oh, you know he ain't with them. They say, shoot, they got that's a track team. If you ain't running 4.3, you can't even sit in that running back room. So safe to say Shanahan has the best system in the league. CMC is the best back in the league. But I don't think it's as widespread as what we want to give it though. I think him and Saquon is a little more closer than what we really gave it credit for. And I know it's only one game, but we can't sit there and ignore greatness. Saquon looked great in his new system that he had. That was his first time ever being able to benefit out of that system against a really good Green Bay Packers team. I mean, the defense, iffy. That was an iffy defense, but we was able to see Saquon shine in his system. So let's kind of keep track on how Saquon looks in that system, and then let's kind of reassess midway through the season. But for now, I think Saquon is I think CMC is the best bet.
I feel the same way, man. The system does play a huge role in how good a back can be, but like you said, bro, like CMC is one of them ones. He's been one of them ones since he was with Stanford, and we all know how CMC was with Stanford. He was amazing. Like he was amazing. He was even amazing with the Panthers, even though like they overused him and low-key made him injury. He was injury prone playing with the Panthers because of how many snaps that he was getting. They were giving him the ball like a little too much when he needed a break. You know what I'm saying? But Kyle Shanahan, best offensive scheme, man, it's just like you can't deny talent, bro. Like, yes, it's a great scheme. Kyle Shanahan, yes, he's doing his thing with CMC, but you can't deny talent. You know what I mean? Like, he's just the perfect back, like, that you could have as he's just the perfect back, bro. Like,
receiving, rushing, pass pro. I mean, sure, he can do it all.
He can run you over. Hell, he can hurdle you. Hell, he can outrun you. Hell, he's strong as hell. Like, he's everything that you would want in the back. So we gotta really come on now. You gotta know we gotta know talent, bro. Because CMC is just one of them ones. That man is different.
For sure. I think that it is close. Like whether you want to give all the credit to the success San Francisco has to CMC and his running ability or his playmaking ability and to the system itself. I looked at the numbers over the years when Kyle Shanahan was named the coach. I think he was named the coach in 2017. So I got it right here. So if I'm looking at this, it's a long lineage of successful running backs. I don't want people to sit up here and think that like you need to get over 1,000 yards just to be considered to having a great season for a running back because it depends on what type of offense that you have. So I'm looking at what San Fran did. In 2017, they had Carlos Hyde go for 940. In 2018, they had Matt Breida go for 814. In 2019, they had Matt Breida go for – no, I'm sorry. In 2019, they had Matt Breida go for – what is this? I'm sorry, my fault. I'm over here getting ahead of myself. In 2018, Matt Breida did go for 118, but in 2019, it was a three-headed monster of Mostert, Breida, and Tevin Coleman, and they ended up accounting for nearly 2,000 yards, and that was the year that they went to the Super Bowl. So it's like they was being extremely productive over the years. And then you already mentioned Elijah Mitchell, who got 963 the year before they got Christian McCaffrey. So it's like C-Mac, you could sit up here and act like you can't say that he doesn't benefit from the system because the system has been very successful for everybody else. But at the same time, he is the perfect running back for this scheme. I mean, he not only gives you the greatness of his running ability. You mentioned his pass catching ability. He's been there for only 2 seasons. He already has over 1,000 receiving yards, which is something that you expect from traditional receivers. You don't expect that from someone from the backfield. Also, you got to look at how available he is in terms of his pass pro, in terms of him. You throw a receiver, you throw Ayuk the ball, you throw Debo the ball, and he's trying to evade some defensive players. I mean, McCaffrey would go down there and he'll try to lay down some blocks for you for sure.
Also, don't forget, I mean, shoot, it's several times in the game with Kyle Shanahan, like, fuck it. Debo, you go be the running back. McCaffrey, you go play the slot. You go play the receiver because you're that talented at the wide receiver position where if nobody didn't know no better, shoot, they would think, damn, who that receiver right there? They wouldn't think you were running back.
He's just an athlete, bro. He can literally play any position, any skill position, bro. He's different, bro.
It's crazy. It's crazy too, because it ain't even just that. He could throw the ball too. Like he got a couple passing touchdowns on his resume. So it's like, while those are trick plays, I mean, like you don't just give that to any running back in the NFL. You only get that to a select few that has the defense sucked in, get sucked in to, stop the run. And
such as my running back myself, Joe Moneyman Mixon threw that touchdown in that Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, We're gonna get to it, but I think it's a little bit of both. Definitely a lot of credit goes to Shanahan and his scheme. I mean, I'm not just sitting up here comparing him to the likes of McVay and Andy Reid and considering him to be the best play caller in the NFL, or at least having that conversation for no reason. I mean, like you see what he does all the time with his motions, the amount of people he has in the backfield, the amount of protections he has, the gaps that he has, these running backs. You could fit a Mack truck in between the tackles, the guards, the centers, the way that they're pulling, the way that they're climbing up to the second level, the way he got these receivers going out and doing more than just receiving the ball. Like they're actually looking like traditional, they look like traditional blockers. But at the same time, I mean, C-Mac is the best back in the NFL because of his talent, and we all kind of seen that ascension when he was in Carolina. Maybe we kind of forgot about it over the years after his injury history. But once he got into San Francisco, he put the whole league on notice because while he didn't necessarily elevate San Francisco to heights that they haven't been before, he gives them that level of dynamic ability to where now it opens up so much. I mean, compare his time in San Fran to Carolina. He ain't never been around these type of playmakers. I mean, he's getting I'm not saying he's solely responsible for this, but I mean he's getting guys like already established receivers like Debo and George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk and even to a certain extent Juwan Jennings, and he's making them look like the great receivers that they already were, and then he's making them look even better just off of his ability to tote that rock, to do all these different things. So to me, it's the perfect blend of scheme and fit. C-Mac is the greatest fit, and this is the perfect scheme for him to elevate his play on this level.